The Justin Robert Young podcast brought to you as always by everybody who pays us at PayJuryDaily.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is ya boy, Justin Robert Young, joining you for yet another edition of Jury Daily. Every once in a while, I get obsessed with songs. I get obsessed with song lyrics. This is something that we've done on this show for a very long time. I just want to delve into song lyrics. I want to break down songs. If you want to send me songs to break down, if you got questions about songs that you really want to detail into, then go ahead and send them to me, JuRYDaily@gmail.com. But there's one song that has always continually fascinated me because it is a pop culture cockroach. When I say it's a pop culture cockroach, what I mean is that there have been several irradiating storms that has killed most life like it. And yet, it survives. Life finds a way. We are in no way, as we have collected amongst each other and gathered in the halls of mass media, we have learned more about each other. We have created bridges of empathy. We have strengthened the muscles of caring about each other, even when the physiological way that you build muscle is by tearing muscle so it repairs itself stronger. Believe it or not, we are more empathetic than we have ever been in the history of human civilization. This is not debatable. This is a fact. Part of what happens is that in pop culture, when we become more empathetic, when we become more understanding of each other, we then realize that maybe things we had done in the past were inappropriate. So, for example, Al Jolson, the jazz singer. Yeah, blackface. Okay, you want to know what? No more of that. And also, by the way, while we're at it, let's go ahead and make sure that we toss some of those old Looney Tunes cartoons in the vault, and we only show them when we have, like, a gigantic disclaimer before them. Oh, yeah, and also Song of the South. Let's also make sure that we could have really built Splash Mountain out of anything, couldn't we? Oh, okay. Songs change, movies change, television changes, but yet there is one song that for whatever reason, no matter how much it is out of step with the modern era, no matter who tries to kill it, including the people that made it, there is one song that lives on in its pop culture cockroach glory. That song, of course, is Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Now, I got a couple theories on this. But let's go ahead and get into why it is a pop culture cockroach to begin with. Number one, let's go through some of the old lyrics here. It is sung from the perspective of a blue collar narrator. It was released in, I don't know when it was released. Early 80s. It is oftentimes singled out as a defining song and a defining music video of its era. So here are the lyrics, sung from the perspective of a blue-collar narrator. Now look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and chicks for free. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a little blister on, or maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. And then meanwhile, they go back to the real life, right? The chorus is their real life. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchens, deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Okay, so we have a shifting multimedia landscape. We have the remnants of an industrial workaday blue-collar past, and obviously declining union populace for which is looking out into the future, and many times as an aging population looks into the eyes of a new population, they are scared. They are scared and they belittle. But yet, here is some of that blue-collar wisdom here in the first verse. But it's the second verse. It's the second verse that really gets him in trouble. See that little F slur with the earring and the makeup? Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair. That little F slur's got his own jet airplane. That little F slur, he's a millionaire. Then we go back to, we got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. When I tell you that right now, possibly in your area, you could turn on classic rock radio, and within a day, you will hear this song for sure, because it has been on classic rock playlists for as long as classic rock was classic rock. And number two, you will hear that little F slur is still a millionaire. In fact, I brought this up in the pre-show of our stream, which you can watch on twitch.tv/JustinRYoung. And somebody texted me that my own favorite classic rock radio station when I was growing up in South Florida, big shout out to Big 105.9. That dude heard the beginning, just heard that. And he jumped up from his desk and ran over to the radio, startling all of his coworkers apparently, just so he could put his ear up to the speaker and hear whether or not the little F slur has his own jet airplane. And indeed, he did. So I got some theories. I got some theories on why this one has survived. Theory number one. He doesn't really lean into the F slur. And it's kind of in a weird sort of like dialect. So my one theory is people haven't heard it. People don't hear it. For whatever reason, it just like, maybe it's just on a frequency for which most people are just right over their head. There's also other lyrics in that song that are kind of hard to hear. For the longest time, I thought that the chorus lyrics were, I have no idea what they said. We got to install. We got the microwave ovens, custom kitchens, and I had no idea what they said with deliveries. And then I always thought it was, we got the movies, refrigerators, we got the movies, color TVs. So there's already lyrics that I have always misheard. Maybe people mishear. I don't know what they would think that would be, but maybe they just don't hear the lyrics. Number two, nobody in the decades that this song has been playing on classic rock radio would be offended by that word. So I'm saying that maybe the barnacles of pop culture that are like, finally, there's one artistic clearinghouse for which can still say awful language. They think it's a feature, not a bug. And so nobody would be calling in to Big 105.9 in South Florida and saying, hey, are you for real? Have you literally been playing for my entire life the F slur? Here's another one that is specific to classic rock radio. Money for Nothing is 8 minutes long. You know what that means? If you're a classic rock radio DJ, that's probably 3 less songs that you have to put on a playlist. It is, in the parlance of baseball, an innings eater. So why mess with a classic? I need all 8 minutes for this smoke break. And here's the final one, and this one came in. This one came in the chat before. Maybe we have had our reckoning with this song. Maybe Dire Straits and that little F slur is the same as Mark Twain and Huckleberry Finn and his companion N-word Jim. Maybe this is just an element of pop culture. For whatever reason, nothing else has survived, but because there is an element of irony to the song, it is somebody who is obviously plainly jealous of the performer, which apparently is supposed to be Vince Neil. I didn't know that. Maybe you didn't either. The more you know. Maybe it has just slid into this pop culture element. The only way we can find out is if one of you listening on podcast, if one of you watching on YouTube, if one of you watching live on Twitch knows somebody who works in classic rock radio. We need to find out whether or not anybody even knows that this is the case. We need to understand this pop culture cockroach. We absolutely need to find out whether or not that little F slur is still a millionaire and why. Let's go ahead and get into your emails and comments. Big day for YouTube today. Keith from YouTube says, what Halloween really needs is a sexy inflatable T-Rex costume. So what would that be? What would a sexy inflatable T-Rex costume be? I mean, would it be like just the inflatable costume and then you're just kind of like in a bikini underwear or in a Speedo underneath? I feel like that might be the way to go. I would like that. It's just like you're just naked. You can just see your naked body, or maybe yes. Oh no, the inflatable T-Rex is in a bikini. Over the costume, just a gigantic bikini, a very revealing thong bikini on the inflatable T-Rex. That's pretty fucking amazing. We also got a couple guesses into Guess My Race. We're going to have a stinger for that. Kevrod71 said Lebanese. Lebanese is a rare one, and it's rare that I get anything as specific instead of just Arab. I get a fair amount of Arab, but Lebanese is that's a good one. That's definitely that's a guess. That's a guess. Crunchy also wrote in on this that I never said I wasn't Albanian. My favorite way of being dishonest is just to not answer the question and instead use the distract technique so no one notices, and they never do. That's a really good point, Crunchy. And if you're really going to think about dishonesty, really isn't it the confirming of something that isn't true? Is it truly being dishonest if you just never confirm anything? The segment is called Guess My Race. It is not called I Tell You What My Race Is. So, whether or not my race will ever be guessed, well, no, it will be guessed many times. Whether or not it will ever be revealed, well, that's a question for another day. And in the meantime, I would like to create plausible deniability for all possible races, just in case. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our producers, the Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, Will, John H. Meyer, James, Bill, and Dustin. Please email me. I need to know. One of you knows a classic rock DJ. One of you does. Email me, jurydaily@gmail.com, or write a comment on the YouTube, youtube.com/Justin Robert Young. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Justin R. Young, hashtag join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Folks, that about wraps it up for today. Until tomorrow, this is your pal JuRY saying, please don't.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.